for me, I really realized it when I got pregnant with my son. I just physically, I got to a point where I could not work as much as I was working. So it sort of like forced me to rethink how we were doing
Yeah.
our schedule, And then, so I went down from working, like 6 days a week to 5 days a week. And then we got to a point where like, man, it would be really nice to work 4 days a week.
Right.
And in all honesty, now for the providers in our office, it's really more like 4 half days a week because they're not working like an 8-hour shift. We have that, the day is divided into these like
Hmm.
4-hour chunks basically, and with not much overlap with each of us.
Mm,
And so I do more hours than that because I do all the admin stuff. I'm the director, so
yeah.
there's also a ton of other responsibilities that I'm taking care of on a weekly basis. But
All the ones you get
um,
the most pay and most glory for, they're really highly appreciated. Yeah.
I do feel appreciated by my team, but yeah, that's the unpaid work that goes on in the background that
Yeah.
keeps it all running as smoothly as possible. And I do
Yeah.
feel proud that we have a pretty well-oiled machine at this point. I mean, I think I drive everybody a little bit crazy because I'm always trying to tweak the systems to make
Yeah.
things the most efficient that they can be. And this is how I came to trust driven care, because I saw
Yeah.
that, oh man, this could really offload some of the time that my staff is doing certain tasks. We could have this software doing this thing, and
Yeah. I think
um,
that's a common, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to use this to market and like grow my practice. And I think that our biggest users are always like, how can I turn those same ideas internally to make it more efficient?
yeah,
And if you think about like admin in healthcare is often these people that are thrust into a completely disorganized thing where every mistake is a crisis. And think if you were that young 21-year-old working the front desk, it's like, is that the kind of thing you want to be part of? And usually they believe in the mission. They're like, hey, I believe in acupuncture. I see patients getting better, and that keeps them there. But the disorganization just tears them apart. And man, I see it so many times. And the flip side, when you organize and standardize your process, so like my dentist, it's clear that they have great systems in place. And I've been going there for 7 years, and it's always the same two people at the front, which, 7 years to keep a
right,
admin in healthcare is like, you guys are doing something well. But my
yeah,
gut instinct is they're not forced to problem solve every hour of every day. It's like run
right.
the system. Rachel will step in and improve it when you need to, but otherwise just run it, run it, run it. What have you learned in improvement? Like, because the other side of that is, for those listening, I'm not saying to change everything every time because that will also drive everybody crazy.
Yes, that's also, I do less of that these days. It's small tweaks these days, but it was trial and error for sure for
Yeah.
the
What
first
were some
few
things you
years.
you did automate or standardize that really you feel like connected with your staff, made their lives better, easier, or produced a better result for the patient every time? Can you think of any specific examples?
Yeah, I mean, the way that we run like the flow in the office, I think has improved for us a lot over time. We have a system now where the evening before the following day, the back office staff will print out the schedule for the following day, and every patient gets assigned a room. And that task takes a little bit of time because they go into each person's chart, and we use Jane app for our practice
Hmm.
management software.
Hmm.
And there's a little alert system you can use in there where we put down notes about the patient. So for us,
Hmm.
it's which direction does the table need to be set up? Are they treated supine or prone? And then we also have things like if they need a pillow for under their hips, if they need a sheet to cover with, if they like the
Okay.
table warmer turned up really high. Like we have all these kind of little details about each person that we keep track
It's like
of.
the Ritz-Carlton of acupuncture here, right?
Which
Like
we
which
really try
pillow?
to be. Like patient experience is the number one thing in our office. So the back office staff does that the night before, so they're writing down, they're assigning room numbers, they're putting the up and down arrows of directions of the rooms, and then any little notes that we have. So then in the back office we have a copy of that hanging on a board, and that's kind of our touchstone all day. And the front also has it. So when they check a patient in, then they're collecting payment or whatever. That was something that we also changed. We get all of the front office stuff done on the front of the appointment versus on the back end of the appointment when people are like dazed and confused after they've just relaxed for half an hour.
Yeah.
They come out kind of super relaxed, and sometimes your executive functioning is not online again yet. But so they check the person in and collect payment, and then they send them to a room. So when we're kind of onboarding new patients, my assistant will go out to the front and collect them on their first appointment and explain our whole process. So they're sort of giving them this little download of, okay, when you come in, the next time you check in, the front desk staff are going to just tell you which room to go to. And they give them a little like tour. Here's what the office looks like. All the rooms are numbered. Hit the restroom on your way in. It's easier to relax if you don't have to use the restroom. And just sort of trains the patient on what our process is. So nobody's like confused coming in. And then they get the patient in the room, and that makes it, some of the patients, we're going to tell them to get ready right away, and we'll just chat while we're doing our thing. And then sometimes we want them to sit and wait and talk face to face for usually the people that are newer, we do that. So we have it's very systematized in that way. And everybody between the front and the back office, everybody's all on the same page about how that whole thing goes.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Trust Driven Insights, brought to you by Trust Driven Care. Imagine a world where all your patient communication is in one place, seamless, effortless, and on autopilot. That's the power of trust-driven care. If you're ready to streamline your practice, check out trustdrivencare.com and see what's possible. Trust-driven insights, real conversations, smarter care, stronger business.